everybody. We are back. Yes, we are. You know my first guest from her terrific work in films like American Beauty, and of course for her Emmy award-winning role on NBC's The West Wing. She can now be seen in the critically acclaimed movie, The Hours. Let's take a look.
You did the seating.
I did.
I don't believe it. Lewis Waters? Is Lewis coming? Richards Lewis?
He is.
You put him next to me. Why do I always have to sit next to the exes? Is this some kind of a hint, sweetheart? And anyway, shouldn't the exes have a table of their own where they can all X together in exquisite agony? I'm off. Try not to pass out from excitement.
Please welcome Allison Janney. I always forget how tall you are. I love the tall women. I really do.
I love the tall men, and I've never, I have sort of a fantasy.
Let's hear it.
I have a fantasy about, it involves you.
Is there another kind? What's wrong with me tonight? I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. It must be Friday.
And it's not, you know, very racy at all. It just involves dancing.
Oh. I like how I have a fantasy about you, and then it's always at, whenever women say that to me, it's always like, oh, it's not racy at all. We're pricing tiles in a store.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And you have a weird odor. That's all I remember. No, is it hard, like when you're dancing, to have a partner who, if you're a woman who's shorter?
I've always been I kind of try to squat or kind of, make myself shorter. I always did, even at dances when I was in high school. I wore a long skirt so you couldn't tell that I was bending my knees. And so, I've just always been very self-conscious about it. I mean, I love being tall, but I love wearing high heels, so the combination is just...
I, too, love wearing high heels. And I'm wearing them now under my desk. I always slip into them. Yeah, well, pretty pumps. It's funny, I was realizing today that, The West Wing, very successful, but for a long time you've been appearing in these great character roles, and I thought, by now, I think just about everybody has seen you somewhere, even if they didn't see The West Wing, they've seen you in one role or another. Yeah. When was the first time that you realized, okay, I'm getting famous, people are really starting to recognize me?
Well, definitely it would have to be with West Wing, just because the number of people that you reach on television is extraordinary. But I remember...
Not all television.
I know five people who are watching the show tonight for sure.
Oh, good.
So.
That's half. I'm kidding. We're a phenomenon, but continue.
But I had come back because I lived in New York and I was in Los Angeles. And the first time I came back to New York, I was on the subway and I was going somewhere and I had a bunch of, I was just carrying lots of books and bags and I had this beautiful button-down blouse and pants on and I was sitting on the subway and I just started noticing that people were just looking at me, and I mean, not just one or two, like the whole subway car was looking at me, and I was thinking, wow, I am really pretty famous now. I'm pretty, I think I could be a celebrity. And then I came to my stop, and I looked down to pick up my books, and my entire blouse was completely open. Because my books had just the buttons had rubbed open, and there I was completely. So it was just like once
completely just out there,
yeah. You're something special, and it's like you get smacked down to reality.
That's what I always. I swear to God, I believe that there is. One of the reasons I believe that there's a higher force in the universe is that any time I start to get at all like, hey, I really think I'm starting to, something like that happens.
Always.
Anytime I'm like, all right, I'll sign that for you. What are you talking about? This is the bill, Oh. There's someone watching who's just keeping us all at the appropriate...
our egos, keeping them in check. I think it's important to have that. So.
Now, you lived here in New York City for a long time. You never had, some people, the rest of the country, they think it's a dangerous place. Did you ever have an incident where you felt threatened in New York?
Well, let me tell. First of all, I'm how amazed. This is sort of a sidetrack, that New York has a lower crime rate than Cucamonga, California, or Cucaru. Cucamonga, Cucarancho, oh my God.
Is this a real place you're talking about?
Yes! It's a real place in California, and New York City has a lower
Tonight on
crime
Access
rate.
Hollywood, Allison Janney melts down on Conan. You know that's going to happen. They're going to...
No, I'm in so much trouble with California. Anyway.
But anyway, it's very safe here.
It's very safe here, and I lived here for 10, 12 years or something like that. Went out to California for 1 month. I was out there, and I got mugged.
You got mugged in California?
And had my car stolen. Yes, in 1 month, and I was like,
Were you
okay.
in Cucamonga? Because I hear that's a very dangerous place.
I was in Hollywood walking with my boyfriend at the time, and this gang of gangsters. Were walking. Street toughs.
They were wearing shirts that said gangsters, hoodlums.
They were walking it, and my boyfriend said, "Let them pass." And I was like, "No, I'm walking here. I'm not afraid. I live in New York."
He said, like, go to the other side of the street.
Just let them go by. Let's just talk. And I was like, I live in New York. I can walk on the sidewalk.
Right.
In California, and I walked. We walked, and he was, and then the gang came by and grabbed my purse. And I was in high heels and a miniskirt, and I went right after them.
You chased them?
Screaming everything I could think of at the top of my lungs. It was the guy with my purse, and then me, and then the rest of the gang, and then my boyfriend behind going, Lucy, you know.
You forgot to mention that your boyfriend was Ricky Ricardo. Yeah.
But he was so mad at me, and I couldn't help myself. Around the first corner, I was thinking my credit cards and then my cash, and I just chased him into an alleyway, and then I started to think, oh my gosh, maybe this was a wrong choice to make, to
chasing a gang of hoodlums into a dark alley. Yeah.
But God was with me, and there wasn't a dead-end alley. It went around the corner of this restaurant, and I was still screaming at this time, and a busboy came out and headed off the lead gangster.
Oh, what a great busboy. A busboy just came out and immediately swung into action?
Was stood there and just tried to stop him, and the guy threw my purse, and then I didn't know he threw it, and so I kept chasing him, and then all of a sudden he just stopped and turned around and looked at me, and I was like this close to him, could not even tell you what color his eyes were, anything about him. It was such a moment, and then the rest of the gang started circling us.
Oh my God.
And then, I don't know, it was like in a movie. All of a sudden the cop cars came around the corner and they just scattered like roaches. So they just went out of the way. And
that only happens in movies where the cops show up right in the nick of time.
I know. I don't know who was looking
every
after
time
me,
I've committed a serious crime, the cops are nowhere. They're nowhere to be found. The West Wing, of course, is on Wednesday nights at 9 on NBC. The Hours is in theaters now. Congratulations on that. People love that movie.
It's a beautiful movie.
Good luck at the Golden Globes on Sunday. Are you nervous? You're just going to go have a good time?
I don't even know what I'm wearing. I'm just going to
you can borrow my pumps anytime you want. It's always great having you here. Allison Janney.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. Ryan Seacrest coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you, sir. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Stay tuned next week. We got some great guests coming up, including Sarah Michelle Gellar going to be here, Claire Danes, Simon Cowell, Penn and Teller will appear, Dave Chappelle, he's one of my favorite people, Dylan McDermott, Alan Cumming, and much, much more. So you have to watch all of them, or you don't get the free prize.